Welcome to another edition of the Fans Week podcast, also on medium waves 1,575 kilohertz. From Paris, I'm Jessica Carter-Wilson. Trump turns Macron's marriage into NATO's new strategic playbook. By Jessica Carter-Wilson. Fansweek.org. Washington, April 2nd, 2026. Today's news. President Donald Trump, during a private lunch with French President Emmanuel Macron, mocked the French leader's wife Brigitte by referencing a viral video where she appears to slap him. The White House posted the footage on its YouTube channel before quickly removing it. Trump also ridiculed Macron's refusal to allow U.S. overflight for operations against Iran, calling NATO a quote, paper tiger. In an unprecedented display of diplomatic slapstick, Trump announced that Brigitte Macron's gentle jaw tap had become the decisive factor in the United States' next round of coalition building, insisting that the very physics of a husband's bruised cheek now dictate the terms of a war on Iran. State dinner becomes state comedy. Witnesses say the lunch turned into a live-action meme, with Trump imitating a French accent while describing Emmanuel's recovery from the punch to the jaw as if it were a minor draft warning, and then pivoting to demand that the French liaison officer hand over a spare carrier-based jet as a peace offering, because nothing says strategic partnership like a slap and swap. We have concluded that the optimal deterrent against Iranian aggression is a calibrated domestic dispute, said a senior White House cultural liaison who asked to remain unnamed. If the Frenchman can survive a spouse-induced concussion, he can certainly survive a missile salvo, and we will allocate additional cafeteria napkins to the Joint Command for morale. Paper tigers, slap heroes, and the new NATO playbook. Trump's labeling of NATO as a, quote, paper tiger was followed by an earnest briefing to senior generals that the alliance's next joint exercise would involve synchronized slapping drills, arguing that a series of well-timed smacks would generate enough kinetic energy to disrupt Iranian radar. Much like renaming a hurricane to a souffle reduces its destructive potential. The transatlantic relationship must be re-examined through the lens of matrimonial physics, declared an unnamed expert from the French Ministry of Domestic Harmony. We propose a bilateral treaty where any dispute over airspace is settled by a televised slap contest, ensuring that both parties suffer an equal amount of facial bruising before reaching a consensus. Future conflict management, from nuclear buttons to gags. Insiders report that the White House is redesigning the presidential nuclear launch interface to include a, quote, laugh track button, allowing the commander-in-chief to gauge the seriousness of a strike by the audience's reaction. A move justified by the logic that if a world leader can endure a domestic slap, they can also endure a strategic misstep without a global fallout. The ultimate vision, shared by a coalition of unnamed strategists, is a world where every diplomatic crisis is resolved by a reality TV showdown, complete with confessionals, audience votes, and an occasional stray knee to the jaw. Because if you can't trust treaties, you can at least trust a good punchline to keep the planet from overheating. That's all from today. From Paris, I'm Jessica Carter-Wilson.